Hello. Hello.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sonia.
Okay.
We are on a rooftop in New York City.
Woohoo.
We are both tourists taking in the city the way we like it, and it's
Yes.
been amazing. I just met your amazing camera lady. You're on the camera. Show your face. We just met today at Central Park, and I took her back to my place, and then we got on the roof, and we've been making art together. And I hope you have a great day and enjoy this video.
Yeah. So check out check out her YouTube channel. It's SoSonia, and she's also on a collaboration.
Soul pancake.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
That's right.
Click right here.
Click right here to watch them all.
No, click on my face.
Okay. So how long does it take you to make a video? Like approximately?
I mean, it depends, because often the video is so relevant to like what's going on in my life. So it depends on how long it takes me to figure out my life. So like Happiest Girl in the World took so long because I was fighting depression, and it was very live. Like it was exactly what was happening in my life. So it only happened when I had enough energy, I could get out of bed. So it all depends on how long that actual issue takes. But it can take, like some videos, when I used to make them just like very short, that would take like a day or a weekend.
Okay.
Now it takes like months, because like it takes so long to develop the idea, and then I want to be honest with my result, with the resolving, like the last sentence of the video. So I want to figure it out first.
Okay.
So as long as it takes.
Makes sense. And and what would you recommend to someone who's also starting out with YouTube or doing creative artwork?
That it's never easy the whole time. It's always going to be stressful. It's always going to be emotional. And I recommend doing something different in the way that make it the most connected to yourself, because you as an individual are original, and if you show exactly who you are to the internet's going to love you. So be vulnerable if you can. That's my advice, because vulnerability kind of gives people a look into how you are human and who you are as a human. And I feel like that's what we want YouTube to be more, is a place where people can rely on each other and just don't fake and be honest.
Yeah.
Look how dirty your feet are.
Yeah, very dirty.
Oh my god. I'm so happy.
Black.
Good. No, that's a good thing. What is your advice to people starting YouTube?
My advice is, don't be scared. Also, if it's easier said than done, because you should be you, and you should do what you love, and don't be afraid of other people's perception of you. Because if you love what you do and other people support you, then keep doing what you do and do your thing. Yeah. Do you have any more questions for me?
What's the first video you remember making?
Ever.
Ever. You could have been 3 years old.
I remember that one time when I think I was not even in school yet, and I just took the camcorder of my mom and recorded my toys and played with them, and
I did that too.
And described what I was showing in the camera, like, this is our couch, our sofa, and this is my bed, and things like that.
Nice.
And what's your first memory?
I just remember finding footage of me just like telling stories, like making a little puppet show, and like already from like the start I was like cutting out things, and I was making like, I like just cut up material, I made that into like the ocean, and I was like just making characters or like with my cat and stuff like that. Like making little videos, stories, talking to my cat. Yeah.
And have you ever like? Okay, no, you already answered that question. But
that's the most. Any question.
Okay, any question.
I'm an open book.
Do you write books or do you read books?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm writing a book right now, and I finished it a long time ago. I've just been so focused on filmmaking that I've kind of like put it to the side. Okay. But instead, I've taken the stories I've written from the book and turned it into films. So meanwhile, while I can't like actually like put it in like a physical, tangible thing, I've been using what I've created so far and turned that into films. Like Happiest Girl in the World is one of the short stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read and I write so much because like I'm not in school anymore, so like I have a duty to myself to keep learning.
Yeah.
And my teachers support me. I want to make them proud.
Make them proud.
I want to keep on learning, and I realized as soon as I left school, I read so much more on my own. Because like I didn't feel pressured, and I didn't feel like it was handed to me. Like I wanted to read it. Like I picked up books and like just.
So you didn't have to.
Yeah, and I loved literature and writing, and I appreciate it so much more now that I'm not in school. And I didn't think that was going to be the case, but it completely is.
Okay.
So, get ready. You're going to read a lot. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. Paper.
And, wait, I just had a very good question. What was it? No, I forgot it. But it was such a good question.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What was your expectations of meeting me from what you've seen from what I put myself out online before you met me?
Okay,
like
my expectations were, at first it was like, okay, I only know her from like seeing her videos and from her Instagram and what she talks about and writes about, and I know that maybe I will expect something different than she is in real life, but I have to admit that it wasn't that different. Like, it wasn't that different meeting you, yeah. Good. And you're also in real life a very open person and very friendly and happy and
So were you disappointed?
No, no. The contrary, I was really, I'm feeling really well and really good.
You should feel very loved. Look, you're in a rooftop in New York.
Yeah.
This is so crazy.
Lovely, yeah.
Look where YouTube takes us.
Yeah.
So exciting.
True.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, I'm always nervous to meet people because I want to make sure they know who I am.
Yeah.
And like I hate it if someone like thinks of me a different way. Then I really want them to understand who I am as an artist.
Yeah.
Like that's why I'm so happy to be outside of school and traveling, because I meet people in my own situations. Like I'm not meeting them in school or I'm not meeting them in certain groups. I'm meeting them on my own or in like creative groups. Like I have friends that no one else knows. Yeah. And it's my own interaction, which I really like. So like this is our interaction.
Yeah. So what's your favorite book? If you had to choose one book. Or one author.
It keeps changing.
Okay.
Wait, what was it right now? I can think of it. I mean, I'm not good at finishing books. So my favorite books, I don't finish. So I said in my Q&A, I think I said like When Women Were Birds was one of my favorite books by Terry Tempest, and I haven't even finished that. One of my favorites is The Alchemist, which is like a very famous book, but I read that book in the beginning of my travels, so it really it's about a quest and about finding out who you are, and it's from a perspective of a boy traveling throughout the desert, and I read that mostly like on the train while I was traveling, so it was really just like a spiritual journey when I was reading it. So I read it in different countries, and I read it as I traveled, so that's one of my favorites because it really has a strong personal connection to my memories of traveling. Yeah. What about you?
My favorite book, I think Perks of Being a Wallflower is one of my favorite ones.
I haven't read it. I watched the movie, but I haven't read it. I need to read it.
Because I read that book at a time where I just started getting into reading more and more, and I always it takes me months or even years to read books and to finish reading them. And this book I read it in a week, and I never read a book in a week.
Should I read
and
it?
Was just I think you should read it.
Okay, good.
But I was I think 13 when I read it, but it was still fascinating for me. And right now I'm not having a favorite book. I'm just trying to find another good book. So
I have a book that I bring around now. I'm trying to read it. It's from 1950s, and it's like the original. Like it even has it's like a really old book that my friend had just found and gave it to me.
Okay.
And it's called The Disappearance. And I just love the scenario because my friend described it before I even started reading it.
Yeah.
But it's of a world where men and women disappear from each other's universe. So it's suddenly it's like parallel universes where suddenly it's only men and all the women disappear. And it kind of shows how the world goes into chaos and wars start, and how if there's only men interacting with each other, there's no balance. And the same goes for there's a world with just women, and how people caretake and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it's just, I'm so excited to get more into the book, but I've just started that one, and it's already so excited. Are you pushing? Are you upon the line? Da 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 da.
Beautiful.